All right, so I see posts online all the time and YouTube videos all the time in the thumbnail. I'm sure you guys see the same thing too. They say something along the lines of like what to do when you're not making progress, you're not making progress anymore, how to avoid plateaus. And I find the ones really obnoxious when they say something along the lines of like killing your gains. I just honestly hate the term killing your gains or anything similar to that. I hate the idea of like always needing to be making progress. You don't actually know if you're making progress or not just because you've had a bad week or even a couple of bad weeks where things just kind of feel off. You don't know if you're in a plateau because you've had a low performance week or even several weeks of low performance. And I got this question on Instagram that I'm showing to you. This guy is asking what to do since his lifts seem to be stalling out. And it's like, once you reach a level of training beyond beginner stage, you have to use similar loads over and over again for an extended period of time before you can confidently say that you've increased strength. Adaptation takes time, stress goes up and down, your performance goes up and down, your energy levels go up and down. That's just how all of this works. Quick story, I deadlifted 695 for a triple, and then 2 weeks later, I only deadlifted 675 for a triple. It's not like I hit a plateau. I hadn't lost any strength in those 2 weeks. I didn't lose anything just because I had a bad day, because performance comes in waves. And then the next week after that, I hit 696 for 3 reps. That's just how training goes. The same thing happened in pause squats. I hit 495 for 8 reps. 1 or 2 weeks later, I only managed 5 reps with the same weight. Again, that's not a sign of like no longer making progress. That's just noise. It's just training. And when I look at those weeks with lower performance, I actually had higher performance in other lifts. The week I deadlifted 695 for a triple, the same week I squatted 495 for 5. The week I pause squatted 495 for 8 is the same week I deadlifted 675 for 3. No physiological adaptation is going to swing your performance up or down by 10 to 20 pounds in a matter of 1 week or 2 weeks or even 3 weeks, or even longer than that for that matter. If your average working sets are down 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or even 20 pounds than they were a month ago, doesn't mean you're not progressing. It really doesn't mean anything, honestly. It doesn't cause for any concern. It doesn't mean you have to make any sort of programming changes. You just stick with the process. You just keep showing up, putting in the time, putting in the effort. You stay the course. You just keep plugging away. That's just how all of this works. That's how progress actually occurs. That's how adaptation actually occurs. I'm 32 years old. I've been lifting weights for over a decade. It would just be insanity if I felt like I had to make some sort of progress from month to month. So when you feel like you've maybe stalled out or hit a plateau or you're no longer making gains just because your weights aren't going up from month to month, it probably really doesn't mean anything significant. So anyways, I just wanted to make that video because I get questions from people all the time about what to do when they've stalled out and when they've hit a plateau. The real answer is you probably haven't. You just have to keep training hard. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for listening to my rant. I'll see you next video.